Call from
Kenyan.
an incarcerated individual at Corrigan Correctional Center. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored to this number as a private number. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Flipsiders follower. Well, I have some very juicy going on of the Connecticut Department of Corrections. This time, through my people, it goes all the way to the very top of the chain. Yep, I mean Corro himself. Down the whole chain of command, as they call it, all the way up, even until our very own new unbundling. I told you this, did I not? So Flipsiders, this is the deal. On October 15th, 2025, I was assaulted by the Connecticut Department of Corrections by means of a cesspool. I was sprayed in my cell repeatedly by Lieutenant Cheney at the Walker building. This all took place at the discretion of Deputy Warden Whittingham, who told this lieutenant officer to transfer me to the Corrigan Correctional Center. Now, to the normal people, being transferred don't seem like such a big deal, right? Well, except in this case, September 10th of 2012, after having a psychological break, I jumped from the top tier and stabbed Deputy Warden Bates in the face. Now, many of the very same officers that responded and were actually there at the time are still in the Corrigan Correctional Center. Most importantly, though, the now Warden Daniel Doherty was personally involved with the incident. Let me be more clear here. He was one of several officers who beat me and strangled me with my own gold chain until the chain broke. Then when I was being transferred to the Northern Correctional Institution, one of these Corrigan officers pulled his own service weapon and threatened my life with it. Now, you must understand that every Connecticut Department of Corrections official heading the Department of Corrections today were involved in this incident in some way. Yes, fellas, I have all the documents saved at my lawyer, and so do you in your EOC file. No cap, all facts. Okay, so now, when I returned back to the state of Connecticut on September 11th, 2014, from my out-of-state transfer to the Oregon State back on December 18th of 2018, my wife had a conversation and was told by the Deputy Commissioner Mulligan, while I was still in the feds waiting my Conair flight back, that I was not going to the Corrigan despite being designated as an SRG blood member from info provided by Oregon State. Then while at Walker, I was held in segregation for a whole year because I was told I couldn't be transferred to the Corrigan to do the program because of the warden and other officers that were still there. Then on October 15, 2025, after I got into an argument with Deputy Warden Whittingham about being taken off special needs status without a transition plan as policy states, Deputy Warden Whittingham tried to tell me that's not how the system works. When I said I'm not going to the general violation without it due to not having one will be setting me up for failure or putting someone at risk of harm, Deputy Warden Whittingham didn't like me telling her how to do her job, so she then purposely had me removed from my transfer to McDougal Building and had me sent to the Corrigan Correctional Center to retaliate and set me up to either be hurt or to hurt someone there, as she fully knows the history surrounding Corrigan. Moreover, given the fact that she is responsible for all special management status prisoners at the Walker Building, it is her job to be aware of these threat security concerns. But the most alarming part, though, should be the fact that all the top-level DOC, Connecticut Department of Corrections officials, allowed her to transfer to Corrigan without interjections whatsoever. That clearly shows that they condone her actions. So, flip side, just in case something happens to me or staff, this is my audio affidavit / declaration that this was done at the hands of all Connecticut Department of Corrections officials, and liability lies at their feet alone. They knew of and totally disregarded the dangers and threats, placing a seriously mentally ill prisoner in a position to become mentally destabilized and put the general population and staff at grave safety and security threats. Again, all Connecticut Department of Corrections officials also are fully aware of the fact that the psychologist at the Correctional Correctional Center is also the very same psychologist doctor that ran Northern Correctional Institution with Dr. Mark A. Frame, who both drove prisoners to kill themselves or seriously harm themselves. This doctor even took me off all my medications cold turkey, putting my life at risk, and actively did everything within his power to downplay and degrade my mental illness. I even filed a lawsuit on him as I was, and his partner, as I was exiting the Northern Correctional Institution in December of 2018. Moreover, I'm also one of several very instrumental prisoners who worked with Yale to bring about the closing of Northern through the United Nations and by filing multiple lawsuits for prisoners about their abuse while at Northern Correctional Institution by many of our top DOC officials today. My wife was told by the ombudsman that this is all being done because I won't allow myself to be oppressed by the Connecticut Department of Corrections to stop reporting their misconduct. I'm telling you right now, all my flipsiders, I'll die on my feet than live on my knees to anybody. I'm a man that's a product of the 70s. I grew up around the mantra Black Power.
You have 1 minute left.
And being a freedom fighter is all I know. Martin Luther King died because he believed in fighting for the people who couldn't stand for themselves. Malcolm X died for the beliefs that we should all be free and equal and seen as such. Emmett Till died because of the hate and oppression of others. Nat Turner died fighting his slave master to try to free himself and his people. Marcus Garvey, Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton all died fighting for their people and the belief that we are equal, human, and deserve to be seen and treated as such. So go ahead and bring the noise. I won't be silenced nor stopped what I am doing. So flipsiders, if you have family in prison being treated wrong or being denied their constitutional rights, and you want someone who ain't afraid of these people and will fight hard in the trenches to the end, you have found your man and the right nonprofit organization, because we got this. Now, this is to address all the top Connecticut Department of Corrections officials out there who think you will break. Here's some food for thought, partner. You can't kill something that's ready to die for a cause. I truly believe there's a ghetto up in heaven, and it's ours. Black Power.